Hello, kindly people of YouTube. Punkrockfairyprincess here. And where are we? I'm back home now. Semester university ended, so yes, this is where I will most likely be filming my videos for the foreseeable future. I don't know. I haven't found like a perfect spot yet, but this seems decent enough. Right, so we are back with another StarKid musical review, with A Harry Potter Senior Year, which it's not really like a musical per se. It was more like a reading, but I mean, it's more than just a reading, clearly. They performed it. A Harry Potter Senior Year was performed at LeakyCon in 2012, and it is the conclusion of the StarKid of Harry Potter trilogy. The book was written by Matt and Nick Lang and Brian Holden. The music and lyrics were written by Clark Baxter and Pierce Sievers and AJ Holmes, as well as reprises of previous songs written by Darren Criss. The scenic design is by Corey Leibowitz, and the costumes are by Jun Saito, as, yeah, per usual. A Harry Potter Senior Year takes place in Harry's last year at Hogwarts. It takes a lot of things from Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, you know, the Chamber of Secrets. Lockhart is in it. The kind of general main theme of this musical is the fear of becoming irrelevant, because Harry is afraid that once he leaves Hogwarts, you know, like, what is he gonna do? Like, he's known for saving Hogwarts. That's, like, his thing. And also, with Gilderoy showing up and being like, yeah, dude, like, you've defeated all the Death Eaters now, and Voldemort was defeated, like, years ago, and that's kind of your thing. You fight Voldemort, and what are you gonna do now that he's gone? So, yeah, it's the fear of becoming irrelevant, which I find interesting, because I feel like it possibly reflects both the Harry Potter fandom at the time, as well as possibly, like, how StarKid was feeling, because Harry Potter Senior Year, I'm pretty sure, came out around the same time as, like, or probably, like, after the last Harry Potter movie came out, and, I don't know, I guess there was kind of this, I wasn't in the Harry Potter fandom at the time, or I had read the books, but I wasn't, like, in the fandom, like, online, right? So, from what I've heard, there was kind of a feeling of, now all the movies are done, like, this thing that has been a part of so many people's lives for, like, a long time now is gonna, like, kind of disappear, which, fortunately, it hasn't, but I can imagine that that was kind of a general thing that was happening around the time, right? And also, this might reflect kind of how StarKid was feeling, that they're finishing off the thing that made them famous, right? A Harry Potter musical is what put StarKid on the map. And now that they were finishing off this Harry Potter trilogy, there was probably some thought of, like, well, what do we do now? Like, they'd done other musicals, obviously, but yeah. And it's also interesting because Annie, a parody, also has this similar theme of becoming irrelevant, which, yeah, like I said, it might reflect something of StarKid. Anyway, that is way too much analyzation, but I'm an English major, so yeah. Like I said, this musical follows Harry and the gang in, like, Harry's last year of Hogwarts. Chamber of Secrets opens, Gilderoy's there, there's this whole rivalry with Draco about who's gonna be head boy. Yeah, and Harry attempts to be famous again. Yeah, so that's probably the end of the non-spoilery section of this video, so if you haven't seen it, go do so, even though it's just, like, I think it was first, like, advertised as, like, just a reading, but it's more than just that. They're, like, costumes, they act stuff out. The only difference is that they have scripts, and there's minimal, like, set, I guess. The cast for Harry Potter Senior Year is gigantic. There are so many people in this show. It's kind of like a mini reunion, I guess, of StarKid. Like, Lana Finlay plays, a small part in there. She plays Madame Pomfrey, and you might remember her from Little White Lie. There's also Alfie Monka, who you might remember from Me and My Dick. It's like a little StarKid reunion, right? Which is cool to think about now because, I mean, this summer there's going to be the 10th anniversary concert, and everything, which I'm so glad it's going to be filmed and put on DVD because there was no way I would be able to go see it because it's in LA, and LA is far away. So obviously we have Darren Criss reprising his role of Harry Potter. I forgot how much emotion or how much depth his character has in this musical. Like, obviously these are parody musicals, so there are some changes from, like, the canon book characterization of the characters Yeah. So Harry is much more arrogant and proud and sure of himself in like these musicals than he is like in the books, which comes to a great conclusion in this musical because he suddenly starts to doubt himself. Because you see in a Harry Potter sequel, he realizes that he's famous and he wholeheartedly accepts this. It's like, okay, I am cool, I am awesome. What is the quote? I'm Harry freaking Potter. I'll do what I can and what you say I am. And now I know exactly who I am. That's not the exact quote. But like, he accepts it and he's like, okay, I can be this. I can be this hero that everyone says that I am. And then like in Harry Potter musical, obviously he's very self-assured. I find that this change in his character that the musicals made really fits with this last musical because Harry suddenly starts to doubt himself. He's like, am I really, like, what do I do now? Like, I was cool, I was awesome, but now I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing anymore. And I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm gonna talk probably more about this like with the songs, but there are some super touching scenes in this musical. Like the other Harry Potter musicals are more focused on like comedy and stuff, though obviously there are touching things, like I mean there's Missing You in Harry Potter musical, but I feel like this one has more emotion packed into it, probably because it's the last Harry Potter one, it's the last musical Darren Criss is in, it's kind of, yeah, it's the last hurrah for the Harry Potter trilogy. Yeah, anyway, I really liked Harry's character in this one because I feel like in the other ones he's more, I don't want to say annoying because he's not, but I feel like in this one you can really sympathize a lot with him. Joey Richter reprises his role of Ron Weasley, and I will say this many times, but there are things that the Harry Potter trilogy musicals did better than the movies did, and one of the things is definitely the characterization of Ron, because in the movies, I think I mentioned this in my Harry Potter tag video, but they take away so much of his character and make him kind of like a comedic sidekick. But in this one, I mean, the song Sidekick is just, it's probably one of my favorite songs in this musical, but he has so much more character depth in this one than, honestly, I think he did in the movies at all. And also, I love Harry and Ron's friendship in this musical because it gets tested. Because in like a Harry Potter musical and a Harry Potter sequel, they're friends, they're buds, like they are unbreakable, inseparable. That's what I meant. But in this one, Harry doubts himself, and then Ron is like, "Come on, man! Like you gotta save us! Like you have to help us." That scene where like Harry says goodbye to Ron, I'd forgotten how fucking sad that scene is. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was nice. Having a friend you could rely on. Harry Potter was my best friend. You know what? You're not Harry Potter.
That's right.
Well, whoever you are, you don't deserve to be my friend.
I love when you can see how much better an actor someone has become, like from a Harry Potter musical to a Harry Potter senior year. Like there's so much there, and there's so much emotion, and just yes. So in this one, Bonnie Grusin does not play Hermione. Meredith Stepien plays Hermione, and the way they play that off at the beginning is just great. It's so good. It's great.
I may look different, but you all should just treat me like the same old Hermione you know and love. And that goes for all of you too.
I mean, there are people who like prefer Bonnie as Hermione, some people prefer Meredith as Hermione. I'm one of those people who likes both of them. I mean, I think Meredith has a bit of a stronger voice than Bonnie did, but also this is like a bunch of years later, so that makes sense that she would have a stronger voice. Yeah, so I like both of them. I'm obviously super stoked that Bonnie is coming to the starkid, the 10th anniversary concert, so that'll be great. I love Hermione in this one. That whole scene with Gilderoy Lockhart is so cringy, but hilarious. The amount of innuendo packed into that scene is just stunning. Like, wow, how, nah. Like, that's some writing. But, yeah, I love her character in this thing. Yes. Joe Walker comes back as Tom Riddle / Voldemort, and I thought it was really cool, like, the flashbacks and everything. Yeah, like, Joe Walker's great. I love, like, the emo kid Tom Riddle. Like, that's great. And, like, Voldemort coming back, Joe Walker dies. It's iconic. It is great. I will talk more, like, about, like, I want to talk about I Was, but I'll talk about that when I talk about songs. So, okay. Jamie Lynn Beatty plays Ginny Weasley, and she is great. Her, like, being possessed, she's such a good actress. Like, when she's, like, possessed, and that one bit where where Voldemort, like makes her stand up when she's, like, possessed, that is creepy as hell, and I love it. And her possessed noises are fucking hilarious. I don't want to talk about all these characters so much because there are so fucking many of them. Lauren Lopez plays Draco Malfoy, and she is amazing. It's an iconic role, and Lauren Lopez does it so well, and yes. I love how this musical gave us the dumbass duo that is Ron and Draco, because I forgot about that, and they are so fucking stupid, and I love it. I love it.
There's very little we can do about it. You and I are the two stupidest people I know. But together, we might be able to be smart enough to find someone who is smart enough to save the school.
AJ Holmes is Gilderoy Lockhart, and I am fucking here for it. AJ Holmes is so cool, and he does the Broadway voice first of all, so yes. And also, he's like, this is like the only Starkid musical he's in other than Me and My Dick, where he plays Joey's heart, which is also an iconic fucking role. But yeah, he's great. He's so good. The mouse monologue is legendary, and I love it. Dylan Saunders is Albus Dumbledore, and he's great. I mean, it's Dylan Saunders. Like, I'm so glad he's coming back for Black Friday. I was so, when they announced he was going to be in Black Friday, I'm like, holy fucking shit. Dylan Saunders is going to be on Black Friday? What the fuck? Okay. I'm not fangirling, I promise. Oh, what was really cool was that they got Ivana Lynch to play Luna Lovegood, and Ivana Lynch, like, played Luna Lovegood in, like, the movies, which is very cool. Ivana Lynch is a treasure, and she was probably so nervous because she's not, like, a singer. Like, she's an actress. So, yeah, that was really cool. I don't want to talk about all these characters so much because there are so fucking many of them. So, just, the rest of this is going to be really short notes on them because I've already been filming for, like, 18 minutes. So, yes. Okay. Brian Holden plays Hagrid, Lupin, and the Basilisk. As Hagrid, he's amazing. The accent is great. I love the whole costume. It's perfect. Okay. Remus Lupin, obviously. It's a short cameo. Very cool. Basilisk, his voice is hilarious, and I love it. Okay. Brian Rosenthal comes back as Quirrell, and that scene at the end with Quirrell and Voldemort telling us, that it's okay to say goodbye to Hogwarts and Harry Potter, and I'm just like... Okay, I'll talk more about the ending scene later. Okay, ha ha. He also plays Seamus Finnegan. Seamus Finnegan, played by Brian Rosenthal, is iconic and amazing. He also plays James Potter for, like, that short scene with Everything Ends. Okay, Nick Strauss plays Fenrir Greyback in Sirius Black. Fenrir Greyback's reasonably short role. Nick Strauss is very cool. He's very good at it. He comes as Sirius Black, which is also very cool. Okay, Joe Moses reprises his role of Severus Snape. It's like a small bit, but it's very good. He also plays Nearly Headless Nick, which is cool because Nearly Headless Nick is cool. But, like, also, as Snape, he has probably one of my favorite lines in this show.
Harry, did I do that so people would like me? No, I hate people.
Brittany Coleman, Bellatrix Lestrange, and Dean Thomas. Brittany Coleman's voice is amazing. The riffing that she does in When You Gotta Go All the Way Home, glorious. Young Bellatrix, also very cool. Dean Thomas, great. Yes, okay. Now, Jeff Blim is Aragog. That scene, though. Yes. Very cool. Awesome. Okay. Tyler Brunsman plays Cedric Diggory for a short amount of time, but that scene is great. If something's not broke, don't find a way to fix it. Oh, it's just great. He also plays Lucius Malfoy in like the flashback scenes. Very cool. Awesome. He wants to be a Rockette, and I'm all here for it. He also plays McGonagall, which fucking yes. He does it so well, I didn't even realize that it was Tyler Brunsman playing McGonagall. I'm just like, who is that? I have no idea. But anyway, it was great. It was awesome. Okay. Devin Little plays Cho Chang, and she is great. She is great. She also has a short role of Charlie Weasley. Patricia Campbell reprises his role of Neville Longbottom. He's great. Okay. This is starting to become repetitive. Nick Lang comes back as Sorty and Scarfy. My OTP. OTP. You know, Sorty sorted Scarfy into Gryffindor, which is why he's so darn brave, and Scarfy taught Sorty how to love. So, Nick Lang is also Arthur Weasley, which, talking about dumbass roles, yes. Sango Tsushima is Lavender Brown. That little scene with Ron Weasley is adorable and hilarious, and just yes. Jim Povolo is Goyle, and Jim Povolo is iconic in any role that he plays. Lily Marks is Pansy Parkinson, as well as Molly Weasley. Lily Marks is so cool. I really like her. She's underrated, and she's awesome. Okay. Ariel Goldman is back as Lily Potter, as well as Hannah Abbott, Mary Riddle, and Fred Weasley. She plays a ton of roles. She's very cool. I really like her, actually. Yeah, she's only in, like, the older shows, so anyway, she's cool. Corey Doris is there as Kingsley Shacklebolt, and I have mentioned this before, and I will mention it again. I think Corey Doris is very cool and very underrated. Aha! Denise Donovan is Mrs. Cole, the person who runs the orphanage. It's a very small role, but it's very cool to see Denise there. Yes. Okay. Alana Finlay, like I said, she's in this musical. She is Madame Pomfrey, as well as the Grey Lady. She's great. It was really cool to see her in this one again, because, like I said, she hasn't been in a StarKid related thing since Little White Lie. But she is going to be there for the reunion concert, which will be very cool. Chris Allen is Moaning Myrtle, and Barter Crouch Jr., and Mad-Eye Moody, and Tom Riddle Sr. I love Chris Allen. I think he's really funny. Yes. Brant Cox plays Colin Creevy, a Wizard Cop, and Percy Weasley. I love Brant Cox. He's very, he's not in a lot of StarKid shows. I'm pretty sure he's only in, this one and Starship, where he plays Roach. He's cool. The Wizard Cops are iconic. Yes. Nico Ager plays Tom's Riddle, and he's in Holy Musical Batman as that store owner that gets shot. Yes, by Batman. Yes. Anyway, he's cool. Tom's Riddle that's a really old StarKid mess up joke thing. Okay. Alfie Monka, who was in Me and My Dick. Anyway, she plays Fleur Delacour as well as Albus Potter. Yeah, I really like her. She seems like a very cool person. We're almost done the cast. Eric Con Gale plays the Wizard Cop. This is the only StarKid musical he's in other than Annie, a Parody, where he plays Sebulba, which I thought he did really well. Anyway, he's very cool. Yes. Okay. Pat Brady is the Candy Lady, and I'm not exactly sure who Pat Brady is. I know that she's important to StarKid. Their agent, perhaps? I'm not sure. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. And then Bob Joles is the narrator. And Bob Joles also narrates the, introduction video thing in Starship. Okay, that is the entire cast. That was a lot of people. Yes, the cast is really cool. It's like a mini StarKid reunion. It's very cool. I'll talk briefly about all of the songs. I will talk more in depth about some specific songs. English is a struggle sometimes. Okay, this is the end, is the opening number. It introduces all the characters, or all the main characters, one by one. It's cool. They chase Death Eaters. Senior year is when Ron, Harry, Hermione, and Ginny are all driving to Hogwarts. It is very catchy, and it's great. Gilderoy is a song sung by Gilderoy Lockhart. Like I said, H.G. Holmes does the Broadway voice very well, and this is a very catchy song. As with many StarKid musicals, there is a reference to Darren being in Glee, and yes, it's a really good song. Always Dance is Albus Dumbledore singing to Tom Riddle in a magical flashback, and it's also very catchy. I'm not good at talking about songs. Okay, Get in My Mouth is sung by Aragog and his spider children. It is iconic and hilarious, and that scene is fucking great. Yes, okay. The School Is Mine is sung between Draco Malfoy and Harry Potter in their like duel to see who's gonna be the head boy. It is a good song. Like, yes. It's so good. In like the musical version does not have like the whole song. If you get the album, the whole song has a ton of like references to like the confrontation in Les Mis, which I thought was very, very cool. I'm just like, oh my goodness, it's like the confrontation between Jean Valjean and Javert in Les Mis. I'm a musical nerd. Yes, okay. Also, this was the one that they had a competition for their fans. They ended up not using a fan song because I forget who wrote this one. I think it was A.J. Holmes, but I'm not sure. And so Robert Mannion was the one, that's how he like became known to Starkid. He won this competition with his song Wizard Duel, which is on YouTube, and you should all listen to it because it's really good. It has a bunch of spells in it, and it's great. The last song of Act 1 is I Was, and this song is so good. It encapsulates the like theme of the show, like fear of becoming irrelevant. It's from both Tom Riddle, like from the past. The one criticism I could make about the show is that they make us sympathize a little bit too much with Tom Riddle, but that's kind of the point because he's trying to manipulate Ginny. Anyway, so he is singing about how he used to be like an innocent child, and then Harry's singing about how he used to be famous, but now he's becoming irrelevant. And that song has so much emotional stuff in it. Very descriptive. But it's so good. It is so good, and I love it. Yes. Act 2 begins with Ron finding out that Hermione has been petrified, and there's this touching little, it's touching, and then he sings Sidekick, which, like I said, is one of my favorite songs in this show, because first of all, it characterizes Ron so much better than the movies ever did. Yes. I'm still salty about that, and I will forever be. Anyway, but the beginning is like touching and beautiful, and the audience goes, "Aww," so many times, and it's great, and then it gets... It's so good. Okay, then we get to one of the most heartbreaking songs in this entire show, which is Everything Ends, which is when Harry, like, has the Resurrection Stone, and he, like, gets visited by, like, his father, his mother, and Remus Lupin, and Sirius Black, and Cedric shows up, and Snape shows up. It is beautiful, it is touching, it is sad, and I try not to listen to it usually because it makes me feel sad, but it's like a really good song, so I want to listen to it, but like also I don't want to cry. So yeah, emotions are hard. Right, then we have a reprise of Going Back to Hogwarts, which is so good. It involves the line "fuck the tie," which is now iconic.
It's also clear to me now. The tie. I got it.
Yes, it is. It's so good. Then, oh, I forgot the whole scene with Harry and Albus, and, well, not like Dumbledore, he like pretending to be like a construction worker dude, but like, I love that scene. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not good at expressing my emotions, which I should be because I've made so many of these videos now. Alright, then we have Days of Summer, and then we have Going Back to Hogwarts reprise, and it's just beautiful. And it makes me feel nostalgic, even though I've only been a fan of Starkid for like a year and a half. Okay, okay, this is just some like random shit that I thought was cool about this musical. There's a thing about like building up a crush in your mind and then realizing they're actually like you don't actually know them very well at all, and that you don't actually like them, which happens with Harry and Cho, which small random thing, but I thought it was cool. The one criticism I could make about this show is that whole scene like with the riddles is, I mean, Starkid has always had like a reasonable amount of potty humor, for lack of a better phrase that I can think of right now, in their shows. I feel like that scene with like the riddles and like with Tom's riddle and stuff goes a little bit too far. Like it's just really cringy, and I usually just skip over it when I watch it. So yeah, there's that. Ooh, what I thought was really cool about this is that there are like all sorts of like melody callbacks to like a Harry Potter musical and a Harry Potter sequel. Like there's little bits where like it's probably Clark on the piano, possibly also AJ, who would like they just like play little bits and pieces. Like in the scene in Godric's Hollow, you can hear a little bit of Missing You, which I thought was very cool. And when Harry kills the basilisk, there's a little bit of Harry freaking Potter in there. Anyway, I just thought that was really, really cool, and I loved it. And also, as I was watching this, during Gilderoy, I was like, because obviously it focuses on AJ playing the piano, you can see like Clark and the rest of the band in the background. Clark is playing off of chords and lyrics. Chords and lyrics. Like, every time I learn something new about, like, the bands of starkid, like, / Tin Can Brothers shows, I am more and more blown away. Like, I just found out a week ago that Spies Are Forever doesn't have, like, music written for it, because they had it memorized. So, I wouldn't be surprised if most of this, like, for Harry Potter Senior Year was also just done off of chords and shit. It's hard to just play off chords and make it sound, like, really good. Maybe that's just me, I'm not, like, advanced enough. I have played for many years, but, like, to just hear what Clark is playing and then see he's just playing off of chords, my respect for, like, the people doing music for starkid shows it gets more and more every time I find out something new. Another little thing I thought was cool, it makes fun of Voldemort's death in the movies, because Voldemort's death in the movies was lame and stupid, and it went against the whole point of he's supposed to die like a human because he's just human. That's the point. There's supposed to be a corpse left over. Like, it says so in the books. Why does he have to die so weirdly? He's just a human. That's the point. Right, okay. I'm not salty, I promise. Anyway, the ending of Harry Potter Senior Year is probably one of the most touching endings, probably just because of the nostalgia surrounding Harry Potter and the Harry Potter trilogy. Before, like, the very last scene, when Harry kind of says goodbye to Hogwarts, and for a moment, it's not Darren, like, playing Harry, it's, like, his, like, actual voice.
Take it easy, Hogwarts. It has been totally awesome.
And, good lord, if I was not on the verge of tears before, I am now. And also him, like, saying goodbye to all, like, the people of Hogwarts. I'm just like, it's so much more than that. Holy shit. Then we come to the last scene where it's the 19 years later and Harry is bringing his son, Albus Scarfy Potter, to Hogwarts. It's so nice. There's a reprise of going back to Hogwarts. And then, if you thought it couldn't get any better than that, it's Quirrell and Voldemort and their adoptive daughter, and she's going to Hogwarts, and there's this whole thing about, like, saying goodbye to Harry Potter and Hogwarts, and I am in tears. I don't think I've actually fully cried at that scene, but I have definitely teared up more than once. Anyway, that scene, it's beautiful, and Quirrellmort is my OTP. I know I said Scarfy and Sorny are my OTP, they're both my OTPs. Also, in the, like, script, I forget when I got, at the Harry Potter musical Golden Birthday thing, they had, like, these downloads you could get, and one of them was, like, the script for Harry Potter Senior Year, and there's this extra scene they don't have. I don't know if they actually did it, like, at leakycon, but it wasn't filmed. Anyway, and it's Gilderoy, because he shrinks himself down before he can get captured, right? Which, that's a great scene, by the way. In this extra scene, he, like, meets some mice people, and he's just like, I will save you from the cat. And then it ends, and you're just like, oh, he did get what he wanted. I mean, you were kind of a dick, but I'm happy for you, bud. Also, the cast recording, I mean, now that we're here, let's just talk about everything, shall we? The cast recording is really cool. They couldn't get Darren Criss to, like, to do Harry's part, so they had Clark Backstresser, and that man's voice is amazing. So that's really cool. They also have Brittany Coleman doing, like, Ivana Lynch's parts, which is also really cool, because Brittany Coleman's voice is fucking glorious. And it has, like, the extended full versions of songs, which is also really cool, because, like, Get In My Mouth is longer than it is, like, in, like, the filmed version on YouTube. That's probably all I have to say about this right now. So, yes. Harry Potter Senior Year is very cool, and I really liked it. And it's so much more than just, like, a reading. I don't know what I'm doing next week. This video is late again. I know, I'm sorry. I'm still like moving back home, like packing out my stuff and shit. I really should do that. It's all still in boxes. But yes, so I'm gonna try to like keep filming regularly. I'm probably gonna be working soon, so anyway, I'll see how it all works. Thank you for watching. I will see y'all later. Bye.